Monogam-ish contains content intended for mature audiences. The views expressed here are for entertainment purposes only. Please enjoy the show.
One of my partners, actually, the one that just recently moved, I'm more dominant in the bedroom.
Okay.
And so it's really funny because he's strong, like really strong, and so he always laughs because even though I'm trying to restrain him, like with my body weight or whatever, he says, "You know, I can just throw you off of me at any time." It's like, dang it, I need to get some chains for my bed now.
Hi, Ishes! Welcome back. Another episode of Season 3.
I know.
I'm Justina.
And I'm Kenji.
And
we're
Monogam-ish.
Today, I know.
Go ahead.
We met our new person.
Our new person.
We've never met her before.
No, this is our first time. I love meeting somebody new and hearing a new
know.
story.
I know, it's so fun. So please, introduce yourself.
I'm Sasha.
Hi, Sasha.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me, finally.
I know, right? Thank you for coming on.
Yes.
Finally.
I'm excited to be here.
Good
Aw.
stuff.
Thank you for coming. We love it.
Yeah.
And I love your energy already,
Thank
especially for
you.
we're filming in the morning, which we never do. So
Mhm.
having that high energy is good.
Right? Like, I literally woke up like a couple hours ago.
So let's start by, well, first let's have you tell us your sexual orientation,
Okay.
and then we'll talk about your relationship status.
Okay. So basically, I'm bisexual, I would consider myself. And mostly into women, like, and sometimes into men. Like, it takes a special kind of man to, I don't know, catch my attention. So like 80% into women, maybe 20% into guys. It just depends on the day.
Okay.
Maybe 95.5.
The les.
The les. 95.5 the les.
So right now you are in you consider yourself polyamorous
Yeah,
as well.
polyamorous.
And you're in a polyamorous or multiple polyamorous relationships?
Yeah, right now I have 2 male partners, and then they each have their other partners as well. So, but at the moment I just have 2 male partners. Usually I like to have a girlfriend or 2.
Okay.
But yeah,
So are you either one of your partner's primaries?
no, I'm solo poly.
You're solo poly.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And one of my other partners is solo poly, and then the other one is actually married.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And do all of your partners know each other?
They have not met, but they know of each other. And it's really cute because one of my partners will take pictures of me for the other partner. Like
Oh.
knowing what that other partner likes, like my feed or like the certain angle or something. And so
Oh,
I think that's really cute.
that's
That
awesome.
is.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So let's back up. How were you raised? Were you in a poly household?
No, actually, my parents divorced when I was really young, like maybe 2 years old, and then I lived with my dad and my stepmom, who I consider my mom as well, and we grew up very Christian. My grandparents went to church every Sunday. You were never supposed to have sex before marriage.
All the Christian
Yeah,
things.
and so basically, I got married pregnant.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
So you got pregnant and then they were like,
Yeah.
you got to get married.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I told my grandma that I was pregnant, the first thing that she said to me was, "When's the wedding?"
Oh, God.
I was
Oh.
like, "Ooh." So, it was kind of forced, and now I'm divorced.
Yeah.
And
Because
so,
it was forced.
I mean, pretty much, I was really young, and when I was 20 years old when I got pregnant. I was done with college and everything. When you're young like that, like you think you know, but you have no idea.
Yeah, you don't.
Um,
And that's a lot of work. Children
Yeah.
are a lot of work.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so I married my high school sweetheart. And so like, he was what I knew. We were married for 6 years, but even from whenever I was like younger, to me, I always thought it was kind of weird how you have all of these qualities that you're looking for in a person,
Right.
but you're not supposed to change someone, and you're never supposed to change for someone. And so how in the world are you going to find, somebody that has all of these things, like checks all the boxes? Like, that's really impossible. I just feel like it should be okay to, like, say that you're into, I don't know, like roller skating or something, and your partner, whoever you're with, doesn't like that. But rather than sitting there and like making them go, or like, making them not enjoy themselves or having to do it alone, you can go and find another person who has those same interests as you. And, like, all poly relationships don't have to be sexual.
Right.
You should be able to you can love more than one child. Like, you guys have 5 kids.
Right?
So, like, you should be able to love more than one partner, I think, from being young. And then I also have been attracted to girls at an early age as well. Like, I was in 3rd grade when I kissed my first girl, like, practice on each other and stuff.
Okay.
So you knew from a young age that you were bisexual.
I mean, I knew that I felt differently about women, but it was always marriage should be between a man and a woman. It came down to I didn't want to disappoint my grandparents. And and so then my grandma passed right after my 30th birthday.
So were you still married at that time?
No, I got divorced in 2000. It was final in 2017.
Okay.
And so then I got into another monogamous relationship, which was very controlling, like to the point where I didn't have any friends really outside of the relationship. I didn't hang out with anybody.
Oh,
And
so
so-
it was one extreme to another.
Yeah.
Because you're on a totally a different side now of.
Mm-hmm.
10 years, like I was with 2 guys for 10 years. 6 years I was married, and then 4 years I was in just a relationship, living relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And so, after that, like, then my grandma passed, and pretty much, like, I turned 30, and then a month later, my grandma passed. My 30th birthday, I'm not going to go into details, but it was horrible. And so it, made me start to think about, like, and my grandma passed. And so it made me start to think, like, what am I really doing with my life? I'm sitting here, like, trying to make this person happy, and everything I'm doing is not working. And, like, what's the point? Like, and here I am, like, I'm having more feelings for women and stuff too. And then, he would also make me feel bad about being into girls and stuff, like almost poke fun, I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of bullshit is that?
I don't know.
Oh my
Like,
God.
Was he very religious too?
No, I would
Mm.
say closed-minded, I'd say.
Okay.
Oh,
Maybe traditional, closed-minded. Yeah.
oh, wow.
Mhm.
So it was during that time that you thought, I'm not happy.
Yeah, I'm not myself. I lost who I was
Right.
because I was doing everything to please him.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't working. He still wasn't happy.
Right.
And then I wasn't happy.
right.
And this is,
Damn it.
yeah,
God damn it.
crazy.
So
Crazy.
after 30, you said, I need to
Done.
switch
Mhm.
things up. And did you just jump head first into it, or how did you go?
I started therapy first, domestic violence, like therapy and stuff. And she really opened my eyes to a lot of the things that were going on. Because, like, when you're in a situation like that, you are blinded. Like, you really
Yeah.
don't see it for what it is until you step back. And it's like almost like I was like looking at things like through like a scope or something.
Or
And
Oh,
then
yeah, like
it like
tunnel vision, and then it just opens up,
yeah, and
huh?
I'm like, oh wow, like my eyes are so wide open now. Like, I'm seeing shit that like I allowed for this long, and like I allowed somebody to treat me that way. Ooh,
Oh,
like,
wow.
why did I do that to myself?
Mm-hmm.
And so then like I started checking in with my inner child a lot. And she wasn't happy. And so I talked to my dad's best friend and decided to move in with him. I moved out for a month, and then he came to my ex came to therapy with me one time, and it did not go over well at all.
Oh, shit.
And yeah, so then like I almost felt rushed to move back in because the kids were going to start school, and he had a son as well. And so I was like, okay, well, I don't feel ready to move back in. It had only been a month. And we did it, and then we were there for I don't even know how long. And I had to call up my uncle again, like, hey, I know we just moved out, but like, can we? Oh, maybe it was a month. We were there. Yeah, we were there a month.
So it was like a month, and then
And
you're
then
going
like,
back.
done.
Done.
Mhm.
Wow.
Um,
Uh-oh.
because like you can't change someone.
No.
You can't tell somebody how to love you.
And that
Um,
cycle of abuse was just going to continue if you stayed.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Like it was out of my control. And I was not the problem. And
Right.
so like and again, I couldn't have my son in that situation. And so we left, and I was living with my uncle for a while, and then thankfully we were there during the pandemic.
Oh my lord.
Thankfully we were
Yes.
there because with my cleaning business, like obviously nobody wanted anybody in the house to
Oh,
clean.
man.
So it put you a lot of stress
Yeah,
on you.
yeah,
in
and
your
I'm like, well,
business.
hey guys, like I'm bringing bleach and I have masks and gloves. Like, let me like wash the doorknobs and the light switches and your remotes and everything. And but nobody wanted me in there. And then obviously nobody was going on vacation because of the pandemic
Yeah.
and stuff. And so I didn't house sit. And then everybody was already at home, so they started doing their own cooking and gardening and
Yeah.
and then everybody started delivering. So I like the grocery service and everything. So I was kind of like run out of business in a
Oh
way.
man. Oh man, it hit everything that you were
Yep,
doing, huh?
Yep. So thankfully I was there because he was really good to me.
That's
And
awesome.
I'm thankful for that. Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yep.
So how did you start exploring polyamory then?
So I met my partner through a really good friend, and he started like showing me, well, he actually showed me a TED Talk, and I watched it, and I was like, wow, that's me. That's my entire life. Like because honestly, I didn't know what polyamory was until
So after your marriage and everything.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But I knew that I like I said earlier, I would always feel that it was wrong, like to have to find everything,
Mhm.
in one person and stuff. And like I just and especially with me being bisexual, like how could I not be with a woman or not be with a man? Like why can't I have both? And like why can't it just be okay with everybody? Like
Especially in this day and age.
yeah, you're not hurting anyone. Like
Yeah.
you just have to have communication, like, and that is like a huge thing. And like
Right.
Oh my god.
And trust.
yes,
trust.
yes,
You
yes.
know-
And also not only communication, because you can sit here and communicate with somebody until you're blue in the face, but if they don't comprehend what you're telling them,
Right.
then it goes nowhere.
Right.
Yep.
So comprehension is a big one too.
Mhm.
And I've in a couple of relationships that I've had recently, like I've learned that comprehension. Like you can sit there and you can tell somebody the same thing over and over and over again, but if they're not hearing you, like they may be listening, but they're not hearing you,
Right.
then it goes nowhere.
Right.
Oh
Um,
man. So you
yeah.
you didn't know anything about, poly or the lifestyle or anything just before like a couple years ago?
Well, I mean, I knew like lifestyle, I knew like BDSM and like kink and stuff like that, but like and swingers, not necessarily like the relationship part of it.
Okay.
But I knew that there was like couples, who swapped, but I never really knew like what polyamory meant until that TED Talk, until my partner was telling me, okay, well, my wife and I, we've been married forever, and she has boyfriends and I have girlfriends, and like, he sent me a picture of, he calls his brothers or his wife's boyfriends his Eskimo brothers.
Mhm.
So he sent me a picture with all of his Eskimo brothers,
Oh.
and like I was just really, I guess, I guess I was intrigued by her. Like you could have, four guys love you and care about you and like have them all be on the same page. Like that's amazing. Like I
Yeah.
want that. Like I want to have like my polycule
Yeah.
and my family, and because I have enough love in me to give to everybody, and like I want that back. And so
Right.
why can't I have that? Like
Right?
who says it's my life?
Right?
I'm 30. So I can do what I want.
So, have you discussed this with your son?
Um, not really. Like he knows that he's met my partner when like he'll come here and he'll get like a Airbnb for us, and then he'll get to like my son will get to stay with us, and so like and we went to dinner and stuff too.
So does he know that your partner has another partner?
Yes.
Okay.
But again, like it's not really talked about like in detail, 'cause he's only 11. I don't know if he would be able to like wrap his head around the concept yet. And then also like there's his dad too, like I don't want his dad to get the wrong idea.
Right.
Because his dad is, I don't know, a certain kind of way, but they do know that I am bisexual. They do know that I am into women and stuff, so that's a big thing that I wanted my son to know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
So, and he double checked with me again the other day. So you like girls, Mom? Yeah. And you like boys? Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Just out of the blue, I don't know what he was thinking about, but he looked over and asked me that, and I'm like, okay.
So have you told the rest of your family now? I know Grandma's not with you anymore.
Nope.
So you've kept
Really?
this
Nope.
all. Are you nervous about how they'll react because of the background, because of your family being religious?
So I feel like the people who matter won't mind,
Okay.
and I feel like the people who don't matter, they'll mind. That makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, my uncle knows, obviously. He was actually the first one that I came out to, and it was so great. It was so perfect, I have to tell you.
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
So, he went hunting, and he was gone for a while, and I had there's a hot tub in the backyard, and I had my friend over, who I've known since kindergarten, and we just went in the hot tub, and then later on, my uncle comes back and he says, "Oh, did you have anyone over while I was gone? Like, did you party it up?" And I was like, "Oh no, I just had one of my girlfriends over, or I can't remember what I said, but he was like, "Oh well, I didn't know if you were into girls too," and I was like, "No, only half the time." And so then he was like, "Okay." He's like, and then he said that he was like, I can't remember what he said, but something like, he's like, I know a few of those people. I know a few of them, because I guess he used to know the owners of tracks.
Oh,
Okay.
Like
stop
way
it.
back in the day.
Stop
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
so then of course he had to tell me all the stories. And
Oh,
stuff, and
hell
I'm
yeah.
like, okay, so does that mean that you're gonna come with us now? You're gonna come with me to tracks? And so then we would always every time we would go out, because he's so much fun, we would go out and have a couple drinks, and like we would be each other's wingman.
Hell
Like,
yes.
oh, you want her, or do you want? And I'm like, how about let's get a twofer?
Yeah.
A 2-for-1.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it was pretty fun. It was a lot of fun living with him, and
God,
yeah,
your uncle's the fucking man.
Right? Right. I am the best wingman.
I love it. I
So
love it.
post-divorce, you've now made this decision, and post-therapy,
Yes.
that you're going to be true to yourself and that you're polyamorous.
Yep.
So you met that first guy.
Mhm.
How did you broach the subject when you met your second partner?
Well, I mean, we met online.
Okay.
And so I already knew a few of his partners.
So
I
on
guess
your profile, you had already listed what you were looking for online, that you're polyamorous and that you already have.
it was just Facebook.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just Facebook, like, so like through the community, like I knew my current partners, like partners. So
Okay.
like I guess we were vetted for each other.
Okay.
Oh,
in a way.
nice.
Yeah, and then like we talked online for a while before we met in person, like, and I was comfortable enough to drive all the way up the mountain by myself to see him and stay the night with him and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Ah.
So now you're dating two separate people, both males.
Yep.
And one is married and one is also solo poly. Okay. And you're ideally, I'm sure, would want to be dating a female as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that female energy. Well, and then also like both of my partner just recently moved out of state, and so like they're both out of state,
Oh.
Oh.
and so like I'm a lonely bitch.
I know, I was just gonna ask you.
I'm a lonely bitch.
I was just going to ask you how you would manage your time with them, but
Uh-huh.
they're out of state.
It's a lot of phone calls, a lot of texts, video
Okay.
chats. Video chats.
So it's primarily at
Video chats.
So it's primarily at this point. I mean, I'm not saying that you don't have sexual chats, but it's primarily not a physical relationship at
Right.
this point.
Yeah. But like it would be great to have somebody here, like obviously whenever I got with my the partner that moved, like obviously he lived here,
Mhm.
but I knew that he was moving. And so
Oh, okay.
that was kind of sad at the same time. It's like when you go on a vacation, like the vacation's ending, but you don't want to have like a shitty time at the vacation, so you like live it up until it's over. So that's basically what we did. I don't even know how
Oh.
many times I went up the mountain.
Oh.
Lost
Okay.
track. Like hashtag good dick will travel.
Yeah.
That's my hashtag.
So, have you had any girlfriends then?
I've had a couple. And they have like been married.
Okay.
Okay.
But I would like want to find, I guess, like a single girl.
Okay.
I mean, obviously it doesn't matter if they're like lesbian or bisexual. It doesn't matter. But yeah.
You'd like to meet another solo poly girl.
Yeah. Just because I like that female energy, like, and also like sexual, like, cause I feel like with women, like, I can connect better with them because I am also a female, and so like I have a lot more in common, obviously, with women, and then obviously I'm attracted to them sexually, and so it's like I feel like since I'm a sapiosexual,
Okay.
Oh,
like
yeah.
so I love that, and so like if I can get to know you and get to know your brain and stuff, like the sex is just that much better.
Right.
Mhm.
So.
My wife is too.
I am.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, sure, like I may think that somebody is like attractive looking, but like, am I sexually attracted to them? No, not until like I get to know them.
There you
Right.
go.
So.
Oh, yeah. And where did you find your girlfriends at? Did you find them online as well?
Yeah, online, and then just like friends of friends, like the online community here. Well, I mean the lifestyle community here is huge, and then but
Mhm.
it's also like close knit too, and so if you meet somebody, chances are they know people that you know.
Right.
Yep.
Is
Gotcha.
what I've like. Oh, you know that person? Me too. Or like, oh, I
Yeah.
know that one too.
Mhm.
So,
So when you're navigating this, do you feel like you'll ever be in a position where you want another primary partner?
Maybe eventually. Like I would like that consistency. And but like if I ever did live with someone again, I would definitely have to have my own room, my own space. Like
Okay.
yeah, like that's something that I really missed whenever I was in my relationships, is like having my own room. Like even if it's just to like go away and go take a nap, like, and then whenever you guys want to like spend the night together, you can like sleep in, each other's bed, like switch back and forth. Like that way, like if you're in a bad mood or like you have something going on, like that way you don't transfer that negative energy to your partner,
Okay.
and like that
Mhm.
way, like, you still have that sense of individuality as well. But yeah, I mean, maybe one day, like I kind of like being solo poly, but maybe I would change my mind if somebody would live here,
Gotcha.
Like,
Gotcha.
somebody local.
Right.
So
Oh, that's awesome. So do you share your lifestyle with all of your friends as well?
yeah, because mainly all my friends are in the lifestyle.
Got it.
Like I try to hang out with like-minded people, because I am so open, and like my life is so crazy, and like it's not for everyone.
That's
Right.
right.
And
That's
so-
right.
And you are so open, which surprises me that you haven't told everybody, like the rest of your family, or like do your coworkers know, or things like that? Do people that you work with, like, cleaning houses and stuff like that know?
No.
So you keep
Really?
it really, wow.
Yeah. Like I mean,
Because she's so open.
I know.
You're such an open book.
yeah, business and pleasure. I don't know. I mean, like, I guess maybe I am open to the people who I feel like would not judge me. And then, like, the people
there
who
you
I
go.
feel like would judge me, then I just don't even bother.
Okay.
There you go.
Maybe.
Okay.
That
You
makes
know,
sense.
like, oh, you like the same things I like, or oh, you know, you're into the same stuff. Like, let me tell you my side of the story. Let me tell you all my stuff.
When she says something like that, though, I'm open to the people that don't judge me. It makes me realize how you're still young. You're still very young in that mentality of worrying about what somebody else is going to think.
True. Yep.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
and
'cause,
getting past
you
that.
know,
I used to be like that all the time.
I know you did. I was
Horribly.
like, oh my God,
Horribly.
just stop.
I know. When I first met him, he taught me
Yeah.
that. He taught me that in partnerships to not give a shit what anybody else, whether it's family, friends, strangers, like just be you and don't give a shit about what
Right.
anybody else thinks
Mhm.
because they're not living your life.
Right.
They're not paying your bills. They're not going
Right.
through the emotional traumas that you've gone through. They're
Right.
not doing any of that.
Mhm.
So for them to judge, like to me, if that family that would judge you isn't judging right now the fact that you went through all this traumatic experience with these guys
Mhm.
in the past,
Yeah.
and now you're a happy person.
Mhm.
You're genuinely smiling. You're genuinely in love. You're genuinely in a good place where you might not have a primary partner, but you have two partners that support you and that love you, and that they were texting her before the show and telling her good luck and
Yeah.
Controlling your own
Yeah,
life,
you were
basically.
controlling
know?
your own life. And
Mhm.
so I love that you've grown to that point. I'm sad that you don't feel like you can share it because you don't want to have that
Negative reaction.
that rebuttal of
Dude,
having to stick
Yeah.
up for this is the way I want to live.
but you had that for quite some
I
time.
did.
Quite
That's
some
why
time.
I'm sad for you.
Quite
some-
because
because I've been there.
and it was I was like, dude, who fucking cares? Like, let's just
Mhm.
tell everybody. And she's like, nah, I
Well,
can't do that. And I'm just like, dude, whatever, like.
Yeah.
And for us, it got to the point where if you're going to do something like this and you're on a stage and your face is on here and my
Mhm.
voice, it's just a matter of time before somebody runs into me that knows somebody that I know.
Right.
And I would much rather them hear it from me
Right.
than from me to have to go back and go, no, this is why we did that. And this is why I didn't tell you. And this is why,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it was really hard though. I struggled with that big time. I'm weird in the sense that I wanted everybody to like me, even if I didn't like them.
Right.
Even if I don't like you, I still want you to like me. I'm still going to be nice to you, even if I don't like you.
Right.
And so it was really hard for me in the beginning to be open and share, and for us to have that open, just be who we are with other people. And we still get judgment consistently.
I don't give a shit.
And we just, you learn how to just go, oh, moving on.
Right.
Next day,
Like,
next
yeah.
minute, like not even next day, like I'm over it before it even happens.
Right.
So in looking for partners, do you find that you have the easier time meeting people online or meeting people in person?
It's the vetted thing, huh?
Yeah.
It's like somebody through somebody, and they're like, oh yeah, that person's cool, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and then also like, I don't really want to like sit there and text to get to know someone. Like, I'd rather like be like, hey, you want to meet up this time and this day, and then I'll spend the time with them, personal time with them.
Mhm.
And I prefer that more than phone calls or texts or even online interaction. Like
I'm the same way
I'd rather so
talk
it's
in person.
yeah.
Because you can learn so much about a person from their body language and their tone and their
their demeanor and
Yes.
stuff. Yeah.
even more than what they say.
And their energy and stuff too. And like, I feel like if we were to sit here and to text about everything we just talked about today, that'd be like 2 weeks worth of stuff.
Right.
God, it'd
We'd
just
be
be like-
here all day.
and then you have like texting thumb. You're like,
So in getting with these partners, a big question that a lot of people have is, how do you take care of yourself health-wise? Because you're having sexual relations with multiple partners.
yes.
How do you make sure that you're safe and protected?
So I always go get tested, and actually, it's funny we're talking about this because I have an appointment. What's today?
Tuesday.
I have an appointment on Thursday at 7 a.m. to go
Okay.
get tested. A full screen thing. I usually get tested. I mean, if I have a new partner, like, it's usually after that, or before that, or if it's the same, like, once or twice a year, for sure once a year, you have
Mhm.
to go like get your breast exam, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So yeah, always get tested. Always use condom, birth control.
So with your partners right now, do you have any boundaries or rules set in place that if you meet somebody else, because obviously they're far away, and so that
Right.
that physical need for you, that sexual gratification is not being met.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to tell them before or?
So basically, like, we don't have any rules or
Okay.
like anything like that.
Wow.
I'm just like out of respect, I would tell them.
Before or after?
Um, probably before.
Okay.
Probably before
Okay.
because that way, like, I mean, I would want to know before as well, which they do, like, because we're in communication almost every day, and I know what they're doing throughout
Right.
their daily lives.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I feel like if I was told after, or if I told someone after, I feel like maybe that would almost seem like you were trying to get away with.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But then, there are also times like where it could be spur of the moment, like,
Mhm.
and I'm not going to sit here and be like, hold on, before we go any
Yeah,
further,
I
let
gotta-
me double
I gotta
check to
check,
make sure
right?
this is
Right.
okay. Like, I feel like in those cases, then, you can't get mad at someone because they're having fun and they're enjoying themselves and they're happy. And like,
Right.
you just have to be happy for them. Like, don't get me wrong, like I do have FOMO and everybody gets
Oh,
jealous
right.
sometimes,
Oh.
but like, as long as I know that my relationships are, strong and in a good place, then like, as long as my partners aren't hurting themselves or other people or animals, then like they can do whatever they want.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
I'm bad at the verbiage. Drew might have to help me with this. So your boyfriend's wife,
Mm-hmm.
would be your metamor.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you have a relationship with her?
So we've actually met a few times. Like we've had breakfast together, like all three of us, and then I actually went down to their place in the Keys for Pride this
Oh, okay.
last
How
summer.
fun.
Yeah, it was so much
I
fun.
know,
It was
right?
my first Pride, and it was in Key West.
Hell
Oh,
I'm
yes.
a lucky bitch.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was the first time you had celebrated Pride?
Yeah, because
Oh, that's
because
awesome.
I wanted to like come out at Pride. Like I
Right.
wanted to like celebrate it for me, like I mean I
Uh-huh.
celebrated it for everybody else too, but like for me.
Fuck
This was
Right.
this was
A.
the first time celebrating it for me.
Oh, that's
So,
awesome.
Yeah,
That is
and
so
then
cool.
and then the fact that
Congratulations.
thank you. The fact that I got to be there with him and his wife too, like
Right.
it was really special. And like, we don't necessarily talk like text each other or talk on the phone, but like, I've met her and like we are great. We are good.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Have you found that you're
is.
able to learn a lot from her? Because I know you were really intrigued by her in the
Right.
beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know how she does it. Like, I mean, she's married, her husband is a really great guy. Like, and I thank her a lot, like, for sharing him with me because, she doesn't have to do that.
Right.
But yeah,
Right on for that.
yeah,
Because not a lot of women do that shit.
No.
Or guys either,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, right on
Gratitude
for
is-
that.
Gratitude is lacking a lot of times where it
Mhm.
needs to be.
yeah. Well, yeah, like I always want to, make sure that, people that I care about know that I appreciate them and love them. I hope they do.
You guys have no rules, no boundaries, you're just basically going as you, I guess every day you're just making it up as you go.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, respect the relationship, respect yourself. And
How do you talk about your relationship in terms of the future? Do you guys talk about being partners or do you look at these partnerships as temporary?
I hope they wouldn't be temporary. But, like, as far as, like, I know that I would never be able to move in with my married partner,
Right.
obviously.
Right.
And, I knew that going into this relationship. But, like, I mean, I hope to, one day, like, maybe be pushing him around in a wheelchair. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he's already an old man, but I mean, he'll be older then, But like, if something were to like happen to his wife, like I would be there for him, like
Right.
God forbid. But I guess we don't really like make any plans. Like, oh hey, this is
Mhm.
where we're gonna
Mhm.
be in a couple years, because nobody really knows,
Right.
So I guess we just like make the most out of it each day. And I have abandonment issues, and
Okay.
so like I sometimes need a lot of reassurance. And like I'm working on that. The one that just moved, my partner that just moved, he is doing a really good job about that, like with me saying like I still care for you, like everything's still the same, like even though we haven't talked maybe in a while or like as much as we used to, like he tells me I still care for you the same, I still love you the same, like
Oh, that's good.
everything is still the same.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, everything's good, like nothing happened, we're still good.
So are you out there looking for new partners actively?
Dating is hard.
It is,
Yes.
especially during
Dating is-
COVID
I
time.
know.
I know, and like I deal with like a lot of like creeps and stuff online.
I'm sure. And especially like not
So-
with like a paid site, so now you got all these fucking weirdos coming at you.
Well, and especially being single, you have to
oh yeah.
vet them and like fill them out for a while and have lots of conversations with them because now you're going to meet them solo
Mm-hmm.
and as a female and as a little tiny petite
I
thing.
know.
That but you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
that
Oh,
that's
I
a
know.
scary situation to be put in,
Mhm.
and it's hard to really get the gist of somebody, like you said, just via phone, via maybe a conversation
know,
or
just
a
a
couple
couple.
of text messages
Yeah,
over
and
some time.
I don't like that. I don't like sitting
Right.
there and texting somebody like forever. Like look at your phone all day.
Oh my god, right?
Like people writing like stories.
So do you consider yourself being in the lifestyle then too? So like polyamorous and in the lifestyle? Like do you have really, I know you're a sapiosexual, but do you have sexual relationships where there's not a emotional relationship attached?
Not as of lately.
Okay.
No.
So you
Yeah.
almost are like monopoly in a way. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
like to stick with
Mhm.
those partner. You have multiple partners, but you like to stick with those partners
Yep.
and not really swap or
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because like I'm not like I have to get to get attracted to you,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
because
Right.
looks aren't everything. Like I've met some really ugly beautiful people, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
We know
Yep.
exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
We know exactly
Yeah.
what you mean.
Yeah. So you have to be careful.
Mhm.
And like I especially like my dad always would tell me like that I need to find somebody that has a bigger heart than me. And so
Oh.
okay, because like I feel like I am so giving and I'm so nice and stuff, and like um not all good people are attracted to that. It's like the bad people too, kind of like a moth and a light,
Oh, yeah.
Right.
and they
Opposites.
want to like steal my light or something. That's what one of my partners says. Don't let them steal your light.
Aw.
So yeah.
Oh, that's sweet though, because he sees that your heart is big. He sees what your dad sees.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because he is that way. I know his heart is bigger than mine, for sure.
Oh,
Mhm.
and this is your married partner?
Yep.
I
Okay.
see.
So when you get to that point with your son, do you have any idea on how you'll try to explain this to him?
I don't know really. I mean, like I feel like it would be better if we all sat down together and
Mhm.
told him, because I could sit there and tell him, "Oh, well, it's okay." Like his wife knows. And then like maybe then my son would think I was a liar. And so like I would maybe want them all to be there, and then that way he can see that the wife himself says, "Yes,
Yes.
that's okay. Like it's okay that your mom and him have a relationship." Like, and I think maybe that would
Okay.
Okay.
yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
would be
I
awesome.
mean, because he already does hang out. He even has a nickname for my partner.
Oh, that's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so cute. I'll have to tell you after.
Tell us about how have you gone into any lifestyle parties, or have you gone into the community, the poly community? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so like I go to tracks all the time. Like
Okay.
that's like my favorite place. Like I love to go there because like I can go and be myself and like pretty much wear whatever I want to wear and like not have to worry about like some like creepy dude like looking at me and like, creeping on me. because everybody is so kind there. I mean, that I guess I've ran into there.
Mhm.
I've been to a few. I've actually never been to like an official play party before.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah, well, because of COVID.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
okay.
I
Well,
don't.
because this is all so new to her
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
This is-
like
yeah.
a couple years. Like basically, I just started all of this, like, and then COVID happened.
Yep.
So I'm
Oh,
kind of like
gosh.
trying to navigate all of it. But like I've been to like birthday parties and stuff like where there have been areas to play, but I really love it because and this is like for people who don't know about the lifestyle, but like when you go to a play party, it's not just like a giant orgy and everybody just like
Right.
having sex everywhere. That's not what it is. Like
It
you-
can be,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not necessarily that.
right.
Mm.
But like I mean usually I mean if there is like there's like that separate area for
Right.
that. So then
Mhm.
like there can be a normal I mean a non-sexual party. We're not
Right.
normal.
No.
We're all weird. Normal.
I say that too.
Uh-huh.
Or vanilla. Vanilla is
Yeah, vanilla.
Yeah.
like there can be a vanilla type atmosphere going on in one section of the basement or the house or the backyard or wherever, and then in a totally different section
Complete.
it's non-vanilla. It's
Yeah.
more
Mhm.
Neapolitan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you dabble in any of the BDSM or kink world as well?
I've dommed a little bit.
Oh,
Holy
you're a
shit!
dom.
Really?
You're so sweet and
I
soft-spoken
know.
and so.
One of my partners, actually, the one that just recently moved, I'm more dominant in the bedroom.
Okay.
And so it's really funny because he's strong, like really strong, like, and so he always laughs because even though I'm trying to restrain him, like with my body weight or whatever, he says, I can just throw you off of
Yeah.
me at
Right.
any time." Dang it, I need to get some chains for my bed now. Like because I'm not, it's not working.
You need to add some extra
Yeah.
weaponry in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he came to see me one time, and we were doing stuff, and I was holding his hands, like with my hand, one hand, or like both or something, and it wasn't working, and so I took my sock off, like my knee-high sock, and I tied him
Fucking
up
A.
with the sock.
There you go.
With
Whatever
a regular
works.
sock,
Whatever
right?
works.
Right? And so he still talks about that. So now we have, like, he fantasizes about the socks. And I recently just moved, and when I was taking my little sock bin thing, I saw the socks and I grabbed them out real quick. So I'm gonna have to, like, surprise him with a picture or something later with the socks.
Right?
Oh, nice. So, did you always feel like you were dom, or did that just come out in the
No.
bedroom?
So basically, he brings out things in me that like nobody else does, and like
Oh.
same for
Love it.
same for him. Like he tells me the same, and so he feels, I guess, more feminine with me, and then I take on the more masculine role.
Okay.
Because we think maybe he has a feminine soul or something,
Okay.
and so like it's we never planned it. We never said, okay, this is what we're gonna do this time. Like we kind of just, I don't know, switched together. Him and I's relationship is surreal is the word that we like to say, because of how we're connected and stuff.
Hell yeah.
Like with energetic sex and like tantra stuff, and so we hadn't ever like tried him being like the more feminine role and me being the masculine, and we both felt different that day, and so I was like, well, let's just go with it, and
Here we are.
yeah, here we are. I'm a man and he's a woman, and
Oh,
shit.
nice. Oh,
so
that's awesome.
like he calls me sir and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
What
and
a
I like it.
completely different change from your previous relationship.
I know.
Like from going to being so controlled to now you're the dominant.
I know, you're the
Yeah.
controlling
It-
one, huh?
Yeah.
like I think
in a much better way.
Yeah.
In
Oh,
a
yeah,
much
of course.
more
Healthier way.
positive and
yes,
healthier way.
yes,
Yes.
because aftercare is 100%
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
necessary.
Yeah.
I think aftercare is more important than the actual stuff.
Well, aftercare,
think.
and because it was both consensual.
right, right.
It wasn't just you're not just beating his ass and
Right.
leaving him there.
Right.
You know,
No,
you're
Mhm.
No, he's sitting
He's-
there telling me to slap him across the face, and
Right.
then I slap him across the face, and then I say, "Can I do it again?" He says, "Yeah." Psh. I didn't know I was gonna like it. Like, he like looks at me. He's like, "Will you slap me?" And I'm like, "Really?" I was like, "Okay," and I slapped him, and then like, I'm like, "Can I do that again?"
I've never hit anybody before.
Slap.
Huh?
Right? It felt so good, and then the fact that he liked it too, like it just turned me on even more.
You're like, fuck.
That's fucking awesome.
I
I
know,
love that
right?
you're getting to explore all of this
All
with
this
your
new shit.
Yes.
Yeah, like I had no idea that was in me.
Right. Oh, that's so fun. See, and this is I love stories like this because we do meet a lot of women. We're actually getting ready to meet one soon that have gone through domestic violence and that
Mhm.
deal
I
with
know.
this on, a regular basis.
Mhm.
And the thought of the role reversal ever being an option or it ever going into the other spectrum where now you're in a happy, loving, healthy relationship.
You have to break the cycle.
Right.
Yes.
You have to. Because I learned in therapy that when you have a domestic abusive relationship or like an abusive partner, chances are you're going to have another one and another one and another one.
Mhm.
And you have to you have to do the work and you have to research because those abusers have the same behavioral patterns and you have to be able to look for that.
So how do you do that now? Because that's really interesting. Because
Mhm.
I've knock on wood. Kenji has hurt me, but consensually.
Right. Yes, always.
So I've never been, thank God, and never had to deal with any type of abuse.
Mhm.
Physical abuse of any kind, whether from a partner or from a person in power, parent, or anything like that.
Yeah.
So how do you know what to look for in terms of when you're looking for partners now and what to avoid?
There's there's a lot of red flags and stuff, like obviously, them like trying to control you and stuff, and like I'm a bird. Like you can't put me in a cage. Like you have to love me in a way where I feel free. And so, if somebody's, trying to tell me that I can't or what to do, or like, it makes me sad when women say, "Oh, well, he let me go out," or "she let me," or he's not gonna let me wear that," or it's like,
Mhm.
let you?
Right?
Is he
You're
your
an adult.
Yeah,
You're
are
a
they
grown-
your parent?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You should be able to make those decisions for yourself.
Yeah. And then also, how they talk about their partners to you. Because if they're bad mouthing their partner to you, then that means that they're probably gonna badmouth you to other people.
Mhm.
And I mean if they're bad mouthing anybody from the get go, whatever.
Right.
But you have to respect your partners even when they're not around. I look at their relationships with their partners, like how long have they been together, like how long have you been polyamorous, are you really polyamorous or are you just a swinger?
So it's almost easier for you, or easier and a little bit safer, I guess, for you to date somebody that already has a partner, because then you can talk to that partner and kind of know how that relationship is going.
Yeah, because I would love to. I mean, I've had relationships with married men, and I always try to befriend the wife
Oh yeah.
because like she's sharing her husband with me,
Mm-hmm.
and like I do not ever want like anyone to think that I'm here to fuck shit up,
Mhm.
Right.
like which is never my intention. And like sometimes, no matter how many times like you could tell that to someone, like, hey, I'm only here with good intentions, I'm only, but in the end, like people are only battling themselves, and so I want to make sure that they are polyamorous, like that they have the communication skills, because I've been fooled and I've had my heart broken, and polyamory really is not for everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
This
y- you know-
lifestyle isn't for everybody.
No, and you can tell somebody that you're polyamorous, but actions speak louder than words. For now and like, the foreseeable future, I guess like only gonna see people who I know, or like who like vetted people, and like people who have multiple relationships, or who have had multiple relationships for a while. Just because like I know that I'm new in this, but like I feel like I guess always felt this way.
Mhm.
Okay.
And like I know I'm growing, and I still have things, everybody has things they need to work on, and I'm growing and I'm learning every day. But like I feel like I don't know. I can handle polyamory well, I feel.
If it suits you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because I do like those interactions with the multiple people. Like I love, getting all these good morning texts, or like, hey, like how's your day? Like, oh, who's this? Oh, no, that's him, or that, that's her.
Mhm.
Like and like I just, because I have all that love to give. And I love hearing other people's stories and like learning about them as well. I'm a people person, and like I love telling my story too, because maybe then it can help somebody.
Hell yeah.
That's exactly why we brought you on.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Right
Thank
on.
you so much for
Yeah.
sharing your
Yeah.
story with us.
Thank you.
It's so lovely too to see how happy you are, because I can tell when you speak about your prior relationships
yeah.
that you were in a dark, like, and it was bad, and so that you've lifted yourself out of that, and you're being true to yourself now, and you're really being able to live your life to the fullest. And
Yep.
I hope that helps a lot of our people out there.
Huh.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thank
Love
you
it,
so much
huh?
for coming, Sasha,
Thank
and
you,
sharing your
Sasha.
story.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for having me, God.
Thank you. All right, Ishes, you know where to catch us. Go online, check us
YouTube.
out. YouTube.
Spotify.
just hit #1 for it. Just surpassed iTunes and virtually every other podcast library
Station.
out there.
Oh, cool.
So check us out on Spotify. Like
Right.
and subscribe. Bye, guys.